The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Wednesday, November 27, tease that Brooke Forrester, Catherine Kelly Lang, will have some explaining to do. As B&B viewers know, she's just told Ridge Forrester, Torsten Kay, the story of how Hope Logan, Annika Noel, pushed Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson, into the vat of what she thought was hydrofluoric acid. Now Ridge is stunned and is trying to process the unbelievable tale he's just heard. Well, it seems that things won't go well from here between Ridge and Brooke. According to B&B spoilers, their relationship will change forever in a pivotal moment. It looks like it will really sink in for Ridge that Brooke was willing to conceal his son's death from him for a full 24 hours in order to protect Hope. Brooke may try to explain that she was only protecting her daughter the way that Ridge has sought to protect Thomas all this time, but don't expect that to fly with Ridge. Rather, Ridge will decide that he's had enough, and that this is the end of the line for his marriage to Brooke. B&B viewers should expect some emotional scenes as Brooke begs Ridge not to walk out on her and to see things her way. But Brooke's actions and decision to keep Thomas's death from her will be too much for Ridge to bear. He's probably going to think that Brooke would have kept the secret indefinitely had Thomas not returned. And despite Brooke's pleas for Ridge to consider things from her perspective, he'll decide that he's done and that he's leaving Brooke. We'll see if he formally declares that their marriage is over, but it's certainly looking like he will reach that decision. Meanwhile, on the new episode of B&B on Wednesday, November 27, Hope and Thomas will continue their conversation at Brooke's mansion. As B&B viewers know, Thomas has just told Hope that he will not contest the paperwork he signed allowing Hope to adopt Douglas Forrester, Henry Joseph Samiri. That made Hope pretty happy, but she still seems skeptical about the prospect of co-parenting Douglas with Thomas. After all, prior to believing that Thomas was dead, Hope's big plan was to adopt Douglas with the intention of eventually filing for sole custody of the little boy. But now she's been through Thomas's death scare and had to live with the prospect of Douglas losing his father forever, which she felt horribly about. It seems that Hope may be realizing that she's now in the position of being an equal co-parent with Thomas forever, which is a big change to her plan. On Tuesday's episode of B&B, Hope and Thomas will decide to tell Douglas together that she is his new mother and will be formally adopting him. It looks like they'll catch Douglas before he drifts off to sleep and spring the news on him. He should be thrilled to hear that Hope will be his mother forever, and we'll probably see some nice bonding moments between Thomas, Douglas, and Hope. Perhaps it will be the start to a good co-parenting relationship for them. The presidential impeachment hearings wreaked havoc on daytime scheduling this week, interrupting and preempting soaps left and right, and The Bold and the Beautiful was one of the ones that left viewers in the lurch. "Thank you, B&B fans, for sticking with us," tweeted supervising producer Casey Kasprick. A brand new episode of B&B will air tomorrow, Friday, November 22. And with all the preemptions, it's worth going online to make sure you didn't miss an episode. There were actually 3 new shows so far this week online. When a soap is preempted nationally, the day's episode is simply bumped to the following broadcast day. But if it does air in some markets, fans who weren't able to watch in their area need to seek out the show on demand, in the overnight hours on their local station, or stream it online. B&B was preempted on November 15, 20, and 21, and while the November 18 episode was uploaded to CBS.com, there were actually 2 episodes of B&B uploaded on November 19. Join Soaps in-depth editors, and lifelong soap fans, Richard Sims and Charlie Mason, as they dish about everything that's right and wrong with daytime dramas in the Soaps in-depth podcast. Every week, these two offer their uncensored opinions on current storylines, praise outstanding performances, discuss the latest news, and tease what's coming up next on all your favorite shows. If we remember only one thing about the 2019 November sweeps period, it will be that the Bold and the Beautiful's Thomas fell into a vat of acid. As "holy crap" moments go, that's pretty big. This week, Charlie and Richard look back on week 2 of November sweeps and find that, a few exceptions aside, it's come up lacking. Which show has scored the most points, and which seems to have forgotten there's a competition going on? Join us for a look at the week that was, and the week that, if Charlie had his way, could have been. On Bold and the Beautiful today, Brooke learns Thomas is alive, Thomas seeks forgiveness, and Shauna offers Ridge support. In the bedroom at Brooke's house, Hope tells Thomas she was in hell. Thomas admits he sometimes goes too far, but it's only because he loves her so much. He wasn't trying to torture her, he was trying to make her understand how he felt when he didn't tell the truth about Beth, the guilt he felt. He felt paralyzed. Hope says, like the words wouldn't come out. Just then, Brooke knocks, enters, and exclaims at the sight of Thomas alive. Brooke can't understand how he fell in the acid. Thomas clarifies it wasn't acid, just a high-powered cleaning solution. Brooke is so relieved. Thomas wonders if she really means it and questions why she believed he was dead and didn't tell his father. Brooke learns he let Hope think he was dead to make a point and insists she was going to tell Ridge. Thomas suggests she go tell him everything, that she was protecting Hope. He muses, this could really change things for all of us. Brooke leaves. Thomas assures Hope he wasn't threatening her mother. He wants Hope to see the not so different and that he loves her. If pretending he was dead has opened her eyes, maybe she can forgive him. Thomas won't dispute the paperwork and asks if they can start over, for Douglas. He kept one child from her and won't do that again. At the Forrester mansion, Ridge warns Shauna that Brooke could arrive any minute. She doesn't want to cause tension between them, and admires his commitment to his son. Ridge complains about the situation with Douglas and Thomas signing the papers. Shauna is sure he'll fix it, and reminds him she's good at pep talks and backrubs before leaving. Brooke arrives and assures Ridge that Thomas is fine, he's with Hope. She clarifies that Hope did want to tell him more, but she stopped her. It sounds crazy, but she believed Thomas was dead. Ridge is confused. Brooke relays that Thomas chased Hope around Forrester and tried to kiss her. He cornered her and she pushed him off the catwalk into what she thought was acid. Ridge panics, but Brooke explains it wasn't acid. Ridge realizes Hope didn't tell anyone. Brooke says she was in shock. Ridge came to her, asked her where his son was, and she didn't say anything about her daughter having killed him. For 24 hours they thought Thomas was gone and didn't tell him. How is that possible? Pam and Charlie cut the ribbon on Weber's Wonders. They are finally happily married and have both quit Forrester Creations. Their connection to FC allows them to bake for civilian and celebrity alike, but Pam begins to worry when she makes unusual errors in recipes she's known for years. Is it a reaction to her bipolar meds, a byproduct of her long-ago brain surgery, or the early onset of dementia? Pam's former co-receptionist, Donna, finishes training her replacement, Emma's mother, freshly divorced Ulissa Sherman Barber, who came to LA to help Justin find justice for her daughter. Donna goes home to find Jake McClane waiting for her in bed. Though Donna enjoyed living the life that being an ex-Forrester provided her, she finds that Jake has brought her back to her Logan roots, which fulfills her on an unexpected level. Flasks bubble in the Forrester lab, we see carefully measured chemicals combined. Eureka! Brooke has discovered a follow-up to her once-contested belief formula. Her creation, Queen Stephanie, is the result of many hours in the lab, where Brooke has thrown herself into work to avoid dealing with the newest challenge in her marriage to Ridge, menopause. Brooke confides in the still highly sexual Donna, whose own needs are at times frustrated by Jake's remaining struggles with having been molested by his uncle Charlie, illustrated by appropriate scenes from 1990–1991. Bridge has long since settled their conflict over Thomas, but Brooke, the former slut from the valley, fears that her lowered libido won't be enough for Ridge.